Ok. Ah, donc là, je m'adresse à tout le monde. Ok. J'ai que les MSI. Ouais. Ouais.
Il faudrait peut-être leur dire que s'il y en a qui le font, c'est lié au mémoire. Enfin, qu'ils peuvent lier le
Ouais.
truc au mémoire et tout
Ouais.
ça.
Est-ce que tu peux.
Parce que
Enfin,
ça fait
après,
quand même un peu partie de...
tu vas parler de ça, de comment ça s'articule avec la mémoire, ou c'est embêtant de le dire dans ta phrase globale? Non, non, on peut le dire, mais de toute façon, il y a une présentation spéciale challenge. Oui, oui. On va parler surtout globalement, on va reprendre. Ouais.
Oui, c'est...
Ok, mais en tout cas, ouais, c'est bien qu'à un moment donné, tu clarifies bien l'articulation.
Merci.
Juste une question, Caroline. Du coup, là, ça vaut le coup que je reste. Enfin, en gros, est-ce que tu as besoin de moi le 13 pour Je suis là, l'après.
Potentiellement. Par contre, peut-être pour les gens de Noyau.
Ok, ouais.
C'est un peu commercial.
Ouais, je serai là.
Mais là, le 13, ça va juste être un moment d'échange. J'ai réservé des salles, ils vont travailler ensemble. Je vais leur faire visiter l'école. Je vais faire un peu.
Ok, oui, donc je viens de dire bonjour et tout ça. Et si tu veux que je coache un groupe, je peux aussi, mais juste dis-moi.
Je te dirai. Eh ben, je vais regarder exactement le.
Mais j'arrive que l'après-midi.
D'accord.
Ouais, c'est juste ça.
Does it work? Yeah.
Ok, good
Hello?
afternoon.
Yeah.
Là, je suis dans le champ. Ah, on voit plus le champ. Ok, là. Okay, hello again. Hello, everyone. So, speaking also to the world, I introduce myself, but you know me, but I'm Alice Audrezet, and I'm the head of the MSc program at IFM. And I'm super happy to welcome Caroline Ardelet, who is a senior marketing researcher and also the head of the MAN Chair of Research, focused on diversity in beauty. You will meet her again in the MSc program soon in the luxury talk. But today she will pitch you at the Imagine Challenge, which is a very big research project on diversity in beauty. And we hope you would like to join it. Please, Caroline.
Thank you, Alice. So hello, everyone. So we have all these devices because you are here at the IFM, but we also have connected to this conference some people who are ex-IFM students. They are now working and they are planning to join the chair. We also have students from NYU, Stern Business School in New York. We have students from Donghua University in China. And we may have also, I don't know if they are connected, students from Brazil, from Getúlio Vargas. We will also have this year students from London participating, Goldsmiths University, but I will brief them in person in October, so they are not joining this conference. So this conference is just half an hour, so it will be really short. The idea is to introduce what we are doing in this chair, because there are many things that we are doing and many activities you can take part in, you can attend. You will see that there are really various things that you can do with us. We think that's super interesting. So the idea today is to give you an overview. There will be a more precise briefing session on the 20th of October, where I will really present, if you can introduce, yes, people in the waiting room. So on the 20th of October, I will give a really precise presentation on the Imagine Challenge. But by this time, you will be able to know if you want to join or not. Okay, so I don't present the challenge for everyone if you don't want to join. So all this is optional. Okay, you don't have to. Just proposal. If you want to join, you're welcome. But you don't have to. It's totally up to you. So, what is this chair? So the Diversity in Beauty chair. We created it 3 years ago, and this year will be the 3rd edition of it. Each year it is a bit bigger than the year before. So it started with a collaboration with a company called MAN, M-A-N-E. It's a fragrance house, so it means that they create perfumes and aromas and fragrances for any sectors. So they create fine perfumery, but they also create aromas for butter, for anything that is flavored in the world. Let's say everything is flavored, more or less. So it's a huge company operating worldwide. They are not really famous because they are operating B2B, because they sell their aromas and their flavors to big groups like L'Oréal, LVMH, Dior, Guerlain, Hermès. Everyone's buying flavors and aromas to those groups. So there are five of them, operating in the world. They are in probably the fifth in terms of size in the world, but still this is a huge company. So they came to us because they wanted to develop a project, a community where many people would work on the same question, diversity in beauty. And the idea was to put together some students, but also some researchers and some professionals. So that's what we did. The idea is to have an impact. It's to document new themes that are not documented yet and to contribute to transform the society. So it seems like a super big aim, but you'll see that we succeed in doing small things. So we are quite a large group now in this chair. So you see here the academic partners on this map. I also highlighted two speakers. They are quite big influencers. So Isima Onyange in the United States. So she's the Vice President Global Marketing Maybelline New York. And she's super followed on socials. I don't know if you know her, but she's quite a voice. We also have Tando Hopa here. She's a model and a lawyer. She's also a voice at the World Economic Forum. She lives in Johannesburg in South Africa, and she's working with us a lot. And so we are trying to expand our network like this to have, again, a bigger impact. Obviously, we have also many companies. So MAN work with all the biggest players on the market. So through MAN, we have access to all the biggest companies. Okay. So what do we do, and where you can play your role? So the first big element of this chair is what we call the Imagine Challenge. So that's the first line here. So it's an international research project. So it means that you take part of it. So it starts in October and finishes in March. So you are given a subject, you are put in group, and you are supposed to work within your group, supervised by professors from the IFM or from the partner universities. And you hand in your research project in December. If you are selected, if your project is one of the best, then you are eligible to compete in the grand finale in New York in March, in MAN headquarters, where you present your projects to MAN's clients, right? So for this part, the NYU Stern Business School students coming from New York are willing to join and to create groups with other students from other universities. So that's a special note, write it down. If you want to work with New York, you have to send us a message like today or tomorrow, because for them the schedule is a bit tighter. And you have to say, okay, I want to be put in a group with New York, and then we'll make sure that we can arrange everyone. I don't know how many you will be, but we'll try to see, okay? Otherwise, you can create teams with your friends here in this class. People abroad, they will be partnering with people from their universities or with other people. It's fine, we are really open on this. You choose who you want to work with, okay? The subject of the challenge will be explained more precisely on the 20th of October, but what I can say is that the idea is to pick up a vulnerable subgroup, a cultural subgroup, so people who are placed in a position where they are underrepresented by the fashion and beauty industry. So you will have to think about why they are underrepresented and how to make it different. So it's in the middle between a sort of ethnographic project and a sociological research project, because you have to produce your primary data. So you have to meet those people, you have to record your interviews, you have to really interact with them to understand who they are, what they feel, and really to uncover what is at stake behind this underrepresentation that many big companies are not addressing at the moment. Okay, so that's a super interesting subject. So the Imagine Challenge, so it starts in October, finishes in March if you are selected for the grand finale, but you can stop in December if you're not selected to go to New York. If you go to New York, it's free of charge, so we invite the students going to New York from A to Z. There's 2 groups going. Okay. So if you are part of the chair, you can also take part in the short courses that we are organizing in between January and March. So it's classes. I will show you some slides because I think I do. So that was the Imagine Challenge. The short course, yes. So there will be one class on the components of beauty on the 13th of January. There will be a second class on when the ideal influences reality on the 20th of January. And the third class, beauty-resistant practices, on the 27th of January. All those classes are given at 9 French time, but they are also broadcast online. So if you can't attend in person, or if you are not on the same, because of time difference, it's too complex, then you can follow also at home the class. So what is interesting with this class, it's a very good complement with the project, because we will focus on the diversity and complexity of beauty, of the concept of beauty. So the idea of it is to think beauty as a sort of burden in a way, because you really have to leverage this idea of being beautiful, taking care of my appearance, but it's also a sort of asset you can deal with if you want to have a career. For example, in beauty, in fashion, you will probably have to leverage your appearance, making sure that you are legitimate, that you look like someone who is credible, expert, intelligent. It's also part of a cultural transmission. So there's a big thing around mother-daughter transmission with those beauty ideals. It's also part of identity building. Like if you want to feel that you belong to a society or a cultural group, you very often need to look like the other person in the group. And if you don't look like, you may wonder who you are, where you come from. So it may be something which is very important in your identity construction. So all these aspects of beauty means that beauty is not a simple thing like just appearance. It's really a social construct which is super, super strong and needs to be addressed, especially in a global world now where everyone travels and people are so different. So we really want to focus on this diversity. So there's also a super nice day trip to Grasse. So we haven't confirmed the date yet, but last year it was in February. So we go there for an olfactory journey from morning to night, and we visit crops. We visit also man's factory, so they explain us how they build the perfume. So, and we also meet perfumers. So it's a super nice journey where we have a sort of behind-the-scenes experience where we understand better how perfumes are created. There is also a perfume creation workshop here at the IFM. So it's half a day usually. So you will build your own perfume and understand better all the ingredients. Yeah, it will be in March. Yes, and the grand finale in New York, so I explained it. So I wrote 2 to 3 finalist teams, but last year it was more 2. So we will all go to New York. So there is a moment where the students present their projects to man's clients. But there is also a sort of a VIP experience. They really treat us very well, and they take us to various places in New York. It's a super nice experience. It's important to keep in mind that by experience, we ask the students to rework their project between December and March. So I mean, don't expect that if you win in December and we say, okay, you go to New York, you will have to rework on it. So it's not a full-time job, but yet you will have to put some effort into it because everyone's looking at you. They really want your project to be super good because they expose themselves somehow with their clients, and also the IFM and also us. So all of us, we really want you to thrive. So we are probably pushing you out quite a lot on this project. Yes, so there's another climax, I would say. It's the Inclusive Beauty Day. So we will organize the second edition of it this year in June. So it's a day here, it happens here. So we welcome people from all the industry. So many companies come. We also welcome professors, students. So last year, the auditorium was totally full. And in front of those people, we have several speakers, so professionals, researchers, but we also asked some students who did really good with their projects during the Imagine Challenge. We asked them to present their project in front of everyone. So last year, 2 groups did it. I think they were pretty happy with it. And also, it's a good exposure on socials, and you can say, okay, look how good I am. So it's always super nice. And so we published 2 elements. So the first element we published, it's a journal. So it's a diversity in beauty journal. So we will publish 1 edition of this journal each year. And in this journal, we put the project that have been presented in the Imagine Challenge, right? So it's even if you don't go to New York, because many reasons, you can be part of the journal. And so that's nice to already have a publication of your work. It's always prestigious to show that what you did is published. And we also publish a big handbook, a Routledge handbook, so it will be edited by a prestigious editor. So in this book, we don't know yet how the students will be in, but we'll probably try to work with some students who want to work with us. Yes, so imagine the benefits. So that's to sell my project. That's the selling part of it. So you meet students, you meet experts. So we all share the same idea that we can have a true impact through knowledge. So the idea is really to produce knowledge and to share it with the industry. So I don't know if you already thought about this, but many say now that there is 80% of the worldwide population who is not targeted by the beauty industry. So people who just don't recognize themselves in the products sold on the market for various reasons. But this is a growing phenomenon, and it also explains why small brands are really booming at the moment in comparison with bigger beauty brands who may have difficulties. So you collaborate with prestigious universities. You can contribute to our book. You gain hands-on experience and you enjoy field trips. On this research part, so for the MSc2 students who have to hand in their research thesis at the end of the year, so you can use the project you work on for the Imagine Challenge. You can retake this project and use it for your individual research thesis at the end of the year. So you don't lose, you don't have to work on 2 research projects. You can build on what you have collected for the Imagine Challenge and use it for your research thesis. Okay, we did it last year, there's no problem. So now this is the administrative part, and it's really important to keep the details. So this is a QR code because there is a type form. So many of you online or you or whatever, you probably already had the type form link, and some of you already registered. We have developed another type form. Sorry for that. The link is here. It's because we ask you many questions on it because we want to make sure that we create the groups respecting your needs and your expectations. So if you can picture this QR code or go to this type form link and make sure that you fill in the form. So we will ask you your name. We will ask you if you want to partner with someone from outside your home university. We'll ask you also what type of subject you think you will be working on. It's not a definitive choice. You can change after, just to have an idea of what you want to do. And we will also ask you if you are more willing to do a video project, so I will explain what it is, or a long research paper project. So there's two options that you can pick up. The first is the main things, as we did the 2 last years, is the long research paper. So when we say long, it's 20 pages, so it's not so long. But the idea is to deliver a written project. So that's what we use for the book, for example. But you can also say that you prefer to work on the video style submission, and then you have to hand in a video no longer than 3 minutes and a 5 pages research project explaining your video. So it's all written on the guidelines. So we have many documents explaining in details everything. So the challenge, everything is really well explained. We'll share all the documents that we have. But on this type form, you will have to choose between one or the other option. If you really want to work more on the research, 20 pages delivery, or if you are more towards the video. I warn you maybe that the video is a bit more difficult, okay, because you have to be good on the content, but you have also to be good on the form. So if you are already an expert in video creation, that may not be a pertinent choice for you. But you're free, you choose whatever you like. Yes, question? So last year we were 5. There were 5 students per group. I think 4 would be fine too, but it's something around 4 to 5. Because you have to collect data, it's good to be quite a big group, because you can split the interviews between all of you. If you are a small group, it may be a bit difficult to interview many people. So you will probably target interviewing, let's say, 15 people maximum. It's a qualitative project, so you won't have to interview 50 people. The most difficult part will be to find the right people you want to interact with. Yes? So if you want to join a student from NYU, is tomorrow, okay? If you just want like this, it's at the end of the week, right? Yeah, so before the weekend. I have to talk about the date for New York. Yes. Yes?
So last year we had 2 groups from IFM who ended up in the final task.
Yes.
And were they just IFM students, or did they go for a mixed group?
They went for a mixed group last year. Yes. But actually the other universities didn't want to participate in the finale. So they ended up to be alone, just the IFM students. Yes. They all work together. So if you work with other universities, you will have to manage time difference. Seems easy when I say it, but it's not so easy. I mean, find slots because you're super busy. So it's not super easy to find slots to work with partners from the other part of the world. If you want, I forgot to say that's super important. If you are considering applying to a mixed group with New York, just last info. If you are considering applying with someone in New York, you have to make yourself free on the 13th of October. So that's next Monday, because they come at the IFM. So the 8 people from NYU and their professors and staff and everyone. So they come here to meet you. And they want to start working with our IFM students on the 13th of October. So we booked 2 rooms. The idea is to spend the day together. We'll help you, we'll supervise you, and it's a sort of bonding day with them. So if you are considering that, you really have to make sure you're free on the 13th of October. Okay? Yes? No, it's free. It's rare. Yeah, it's free. Yes. Yeah. I don't know. Workload. I don't know. Imagine that you have to find a topic. So finding the topic, and you're 5 of you, and you have to read a bit, so this will take some time. Then you split the interviews, so that's not such a big part. Then you analyze, I think, each one, then you have to put together in common. I don't know how many hours would I say, 30 probably? I think that's a good estimation. 30 hours, I would say, for the Imagine Challenge, probably. 35. I think if you are selected after December, it may be a bit more of pressure after December if you are selecting to go to New York. Yes, that's it. There's also, I forgot to say, there's also a business school in Paris. All the class participate in the Imagine Challenge. So we will organize a sort of private defense in the business school, and just a few of them will come to here. It's a business school. It's what's the name of it? ISG. ISG, I think, right? ISG. So it's free. Everyone can apply. Okay. So there are also people participating a bit older than you are, like 30, 40 years old, participating in the challenge. Not so many. I would say 10 of them probably. Yes. Yes. No. If you apply, if you want to join you will have access to all these activities, except New York. It depends if you are selected. But the workshop, like creating your perfume, the visit to Grasse, the classes, they are all part of the activities of the chair. Okay. So the idea for Man to organize that and to offer that to the students is because they think that that there is a big need for a sort of new knowledge, new discussions on this question. They feel that their clients are expecting new ideas, new insights. I don't know if you may follow the perfume industries, the commercials, the scents. You may feel that there is this willingness to renew things and trends and to understand better who are the customers. So they feel that there is this need, so that's why they are proposing somehow this big thing for all the students and all graduate people, postgraduate people. Yes? I don't know. It's very difficult for me to tell. I always think that if you like it, it won't be a burden to work on it because it will be fun. Last year, I had a conversation with Pia. I think that was her. During the summertime, she had finished her project, but she still wanted to work on it because she really loved it. That she was working on the mother-daughter relationship, and she really loved interviewing mother and daughters and understanding better how mothers transmit their beauty canons to their daughters. And so I think for her it was not a burden, but more a sort of opportunity. So I don't know, if you choose something you like, I think it will be really like a pleasure to work on it. You can choose any subject, that's nice. Okay, it's quite vague. The theme is very broad. Good? Other question? Yes? No, it's fine. No. So you will be assigned to one supervisor, and so you will meet your supervisor as many times as you want. Okay, so we'll be working together. So at the moment there's Tian Hong, so I haven't introduced her. Sorry, that was not. So Tian Hong, she's coordinating all the chair activities. So we really work together. We'll split. So she's also a PhD student. That's the word in French, a doctorante. So she's working on her PhD now. She's also a professor here at the IFM. And so we'll split probably the groups between her and I, and we'll supervise each of you closely to make sure that you are able to do it. And I think also it's a good training for your thesis, because it's more or less the same method that you have to employ. So it can help you, probably teach you the right methods. Okay, and so Kevin is coordinating also, especially for the trip to New York. Also for all the type forms, he helps us a lot on making sure that everything is well organized. So if you have any question, you can also discuss with Kevin. He knows pretty everything about the chair. Okay. There are also some students from the other programs participating. I think we have one from the MS, and yeah, I had a message. Yes. We'll have a clear overview when everyone will have enrolled on the type form. We'll have a clearer view of who is in. Yes?
About the subject,
yes.
about the group that's underrepresented, is it in beauty as in the notion of aesthetic, or is beauty as in cosmetic?
Yeah, no, it's not cosmetics as an industry. It can be, I don't know, hair, for example. It can be body curves. It can be anything that you think. But I think it has to have concrete implications for the fashion and beauty industry. But there are so many implications. So it's really beauty as appearance, my sort of body image, what I might reflect. Yes, it's better to really choose something super narrow and make it very precise and really go deep into it. Quite easily, you will end up thinking about religion, social integration, politics, because it's very close to the way people dress up, to the way people want to be looked at. Like prestige, legitimacy, political opinions, all this is intertwined with beauty. So that's why you need to start with something small and then trying to go deep dive into it and really find bigger reasons. No, in the type form, it's just an idea. What you have in mind for the moment, we know it won't be definitive. It's just to have an idea. If we find someone who is interested in the same subject, it could be interesting to maybe join you, or we'll see. Okay, just to have an idea. Yes? No, not really. We are we are in for the diversity. Well, I think 4 is a good minimum. That's my opinion. But if you are 3, it's fine. But I think 4 would be a good minimum, because it will be harder for you because you have less hands to work on it. Yes? Yes, pretty much all the afternoon. I'll tell you now. I think I don't want to. Yes. Yes. 1 to 5. Okay. Are there any questions online? No?
Yes, hello.
Ah, hello. We don't see you, but we hear you.
Do you hear me? Yes. Thank you so much for the opportunity. Uh, I have a couple of questions. Well, I want to ask my students to register for this activity this week, 9th of October. Is there any link that they have to register, or they just send you the email?
So if you see this QR code on the screen just now, it will drive you towards the type form. So please picture it, and you will end up directly land on the type form, and you enroll on the type form. If you want to enroll with NYU students, just send us a message. No?
Okay.
Sorry, I don't. What's the?
I think for 20th October, I'm going to send another link for the video and for the live, if it's the question. Hello.
Uh, do you want that I repeat again the question, or
Maybe you should write your question in the chat because
Yes.
we
Or
can't you can't we can't hear you.
Or you can send me an email after if it will be easier, I think. Okay, so if you got the question from the Teams or from the YouTube link, you can send me an email. It will be maybe easier because we can't really hear you well in the video live. Thank you.
Yeah, online if you want to ask a question in the chat. Here. Should students send you the registration email or there is a link for registration?
I'm going to answer after.
Okay. So Meizam, Tianrong will send you a message just after. She has your email address. She sees where you are. Okay? Other question? No? So just a few feedback. Just what do you think of it? Yes? That's cool? You like it? Me too. I think that's a super nice project. It's creative and smart, and it has an impact, so it's cool. Okay, so you have the email address somewhere. So this DIB chair IFM Paris. So this is, we received this address, you can write. So you don't have to double or triple your message with all these emails, right? Otherwise, we have them 3 times. Okay, so Caroline, me, Tianrong, she's here. So that's our addresses, and we both have access to this DIB address, right? Please join the LinkedIn page we have on the chair. So we publish things, we try to make it active and to grow the community. So you'll find it on LinkedIn. So Chair Diversity in Beauty, Man IFM. Here it is. Yes? Yes, so there's no database, so you're supposed to find your own interviewees. You can use your own network. You probably come from various parts of the world, so you probably have your own networks also, so it's good to use that. And that's the magic of qualitative research also, is to know and to find your own interviewees. Okay? And so we don't want any quantitative research on this project, right? It's a qualitative research project. Okay? It's no numbers. Yes?
And can they use like online observation instead of interview?
Yes, so you can use online observation. Yes, you can use verbatims or things that you find on socials, for example. You can do that too. Okay, but no survey. You're not supposed to create a questionnaire and to send it to 50 or 100 people. That's not the philosophy of it. It's more spending time with your interviewers, understanding what is really at stake for them, and then trying to make a sense from this. Okay? Good, I'm done. Thank you so much. Looking forward to seeing you. Okay, see you.
Just for MSc student, you can take a break, so please be back in 15 minutes. So approximately at 15 past 3.
c'est un Teams.
Ouais.
Je vous propose, comme ça, on se fait une demi-heure de Teams ensemble et puis aussi on parle un peu. Loézen,
Oui, pardon. Oui,
Mais Sam,
ok.
ça dit quelque chose?
Il y a peut-être marqué absente sur un des comptes.
Apparemment.
Envoyez un message à Jorge pour lui dire, mais je pense qu'il a la liste et que ça va être mis à jour. Oui, oui, oui. Normalement, ouais.
C'est
Ouais.
ILG,
Oui, oui, c'est juste que
son
quand
mail, c'est
on reçoit la
Grégory
liste et qu'on mette à jour. Pas de souci.
Là, il dit après, oui, ok, you are supervising for the lab.
yes, we'll do the project on my strategies and we'll navigate groups. Okay,
Bah,
that's
c'est
good.
clair pour lui. Enfin, je lui propose, et si jamais il dit oui. Ouais, comme on a tous posté dernièrement. Pour regarder son visage sur LinkedIn. SFR, SFR. Ah, lundi, ben, je pense que tout à l'heure. Moi aussi. Ah oui, c'est lui. C'est en commun. Tu es connecté avec lui en plus. Pourquoi moi? Grégory, c'est non. Et l'autre, il ressemble.
Non, mais le truc qui a donné ce référence, c'est qu'on rajouterait les noms inclusifs après dans les exécutifs. Ouais, mais vous allez avoir un projet qui commence demain après-midi où vous allez bosser avec les incubés. Donc je pense qu'à ce moment-là, Thomas va vous présenter l'incubateur et comment ça pour rejoindre l'incubateur. Demain, vous allez voir Thomas et Lys qui s'en occupent. Voilà. Ça fait partie, en gros, le matin, c'est branding. Ah, mais non, je fais n'importe quoi, pardon. Je dois coucher les mains. Je confonds, excusez-moi. Oui, parce que moi, j'ai rien vu comme ça. Oui, non, non, c'est pas bon. Vous aurez un mail, effectivement. Sinon, passez au bureau, je vous présente. Ah oui. Ouais, mais à mon avis, je pense qu'elle a reçu déjà. Il y a un doc en dessous, Belgique, Luxembourg, Pays-Bas, ils ont un peu le même. Et donc, du coup, on l'a déjà rempli. Je crois que Justine en a fait un la semaine dernière. Donc, en gros, tu peux remettre à peu près les mêmes choses. Et tu me dis s'il y a des trucs que tu sais pas. Okay.
Yeah, I was sitting like just like chilling, and I was thinking like, oh wait, of course the new class.
Yeah.
Is this already
It's
too late now?
Is it?
Well, because I did it at pre-9.
Did you try?
Yeah,
It's not working.
I was able to do it, but does that mean like?
If it works and is validated, I think you're good.
But then like if we're actually in class and like we like now it would not work, then that means it's an absence.
In theory.
But we can fight it.
I mean, for like this type of moment, I guess you could.
Yeah. Because for example, I wanted to ask you something like, I ended up having like 2 absences for like the last week because they're fashion week, but there's one in like the very
Yeah,
first
no
one.
worry. We're gonna update that.
Because I was there.
Yeah, I saw you.
Okay.
I was there with the teacher as well. So
Okay.
for the French ones, don't worry. I'll
Okay.
update that this week.
Okay, perfect.
At the end of the week, you still see them.
Yeah.
Send me a message and I'll
Okay.
update that.
We'll take it.
Ouais. Non, c'est cool.
C'était comme ça l'année dernière aussi?
Bah, c'est la première année où on l'ouvre en dehors du MSI.
Ah.
Avant, c'était vraiment que pour le MSI. Et pareil, c'était optionnel, mais il n'y avait que des étudiants du MSI qui le faisaient. Et il y avait NYU. Il y avait pas, sinon, il y avait NYU RCO l'année dernière. Mais donc, soit c'était des groupes mixtes, MSI Rio, MSI New York. Donc là, il y a des nouvelles universités, plus c'est ouvert à n'importe qui veut le faire.
Et là, à part le MSI, là c'est MSI 1 et MSI 2 qui étaient là?
Non, là, il n'y avait que les deux, mais s'il y a des MSiens qui veulent le faire, ils ont le droit. S'il y a des MS, même des gens de l'extérieur, c'est vraiment ouvert à tout le monde. Toutes les personnes qui ont un master. Enfin, qui sont en master. On va voir comment ça prend.
J'ai déjà senti justement. Et avec la thèse, on va faire comment?
Ouais.
Faut écrire deux thèses. Parce que là, c'est pas en mode thèse.
Non, mais c'est quand même un travail de recherche, donc tu peux. Mais oui, s'ils font ce projet, il faut qu'ils utilisent. Enfin, il faut qu'il y ait un lien, je pense, sinon ils échappent au travail deux fois. Quoi. Ouais.
Just a quick question
Yeah.
about the social security, but maybe there's
Yeah.
someone better to ask. So I'm from Quebec, so I know there's like a little special something, but I don't know what that special something is. They asked me a few questions like, oh, if you're from Quebec, do you have this thing or that? And it was like a random code. I don't know what it is. So who do I talk to about that? Because I know because we're like mother and
No, I know.
son,
Yeah,
there's
always
a whole thing.
there's always something special
Yeah.
with Quebec.
So
I think try Anthony.
Anthony would know.
Gomez. Gomez.
Gomez. Oh yes,
Yeah.
Anthony. Okay, sure.
Yeah, and you can
I'll
CC us.
email.
And,
Okay.
I think he would know.
Okay. And to validate the visa was just the link. That was it. I don't have to go in person.
I don't think
That's
so.
it. It
Yeah,
was
I
very
think so.
easy.
Yeah.
So that made me question
Yeah.
it. I was like,
When you see Anthony, just make sure ask him again.
Okay.
But I think so. I think it's not that bad. I think it's when you need to renew it that it's a bit more of a
more of
hassle.
an issue.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
Of course.
C'est chouette, on peut ouvrir ce groupe-là sur les lentilles.
Ouais.
C'est bon comme ça.
Ah.
Quand tu as un écran petit, on a le laptop. Et tu peux pas aller à droite.
Et tu peux pas aller à droite. Ah, bah faut peut-être le dire à Brice. Tu peux lui envoyer un screenshot. Ouais.
Je sais pas si c'est la config de mon écran ou quoi, mais c'est quand c'est sur le branché.
Ouais. Attends, je vais leur demander.
Ah oui, et attends, j'aurais envie de te dire, si vous pouvez, pour votre fashion day, ne pas le mettre pendant la soutenance de mémoire, parce que c'est plus simple si vous voulez faire partie des étudiants.
Alors c'est la com qui choisit sa date, parce qu'ils sont tellement fâchés que d'abord c'est la com, puis c'est Man.
Ok. En tout cas,
Puis peut-être moi.
que nous, en tout cas, c'est 20 ou 30.
20 ou 30 juin, ça peut être mieux avant. Sauf que moi le 12 ou 19 je suis en saison peut-être.
Donc c'est pas très grave, parce qu'en vrai, eux, on peut s'arranger si on sait qui présente, on peut ne pas mettre là en France, mais sinon, vous avez besoin de lancer avec ça, c'est pas grave. Si ce n'est que je peux vous dire un truc à vous proposer.
c'est plutôt
pour le day pour en fait un travail.
Si, avec plaisir.
Rythmer un peu la journée. Complètement à voir, mais
Je prends avec plaisir. Je te laisse travailler, salut.
Ouais, on a tout à l'heure.
ils vont avoir des retards, j'imagine, vu que
Eh
j'ai
ben, ils ont
décalé.
scanné avant de partir pour la plupart, mais il y a moyen qu'il y en ait qui n'aient pas du tout scanné, donc c'est pas grave.
En disant, mais je me suis dit, je préfère que tu fasses une pause et qu'ils reviennent
Oui,
un peu
oui, non,
plus.
clairement.
Parce que
Oui,
I have a question. So the beauty pageant that we have in nuclear and renewable,
yeah.
that's the only pageant because last year I think they had one with which was fashion related like armchairs. Do we have?
Yeah, you will have fashion business cases, but these will be in the specific
Oh, okay, it's that related.
Yeah, so first
Yeah,
semester
I
business
already
cases,
thought about that.
second semester fashion.
Also like with the nuclear and the renewable, okay, and then sorry to go now. Thank you. Later. But like how with this Imagine project we're going to New York or something like that, is there something like an opportunity that we might be able to get through those beauty?
I mean, for sure, like L'Oréal, internship
Yeah.
industry, L'Oréal, they each year they give us business cases because they love the MSc students.
Okay, perfect.
So they will come, they will brief you, they will be here for the seminar. HR
Rencontrer.
always coming,
Je
they
vais
will
en
be
parler.
business with you and hire a bunch of people.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So there's always an opportunity.
Every year I would say they take between 50 to 60%. So for sure, if you're interested,
That's a big percentage. That's like 15% of our
yeah,
class.
no, it's big. It's big.
Okay, then perfect. Cool.
Yeah,
Thank
no, for
you.
sure. Pas sûr. Vous n'avez pas besoin pour ça. C'est rien de plus que dire. Ah oui, ok. Ok, donc il n'y a personne. Ouais. Ouais. Ok. Ouais. 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 Ah oui, c'est ça que je voulais vous dire. Est-ce que vous pouvez me prévenir du coup quand vous approchez de la fin qu'on se prépare le bouquet? Ouais. Ok, mais c'est juste qu'une fois que c'est fait, je le surveille. C'est parce qu'il n'y aura plus rien quand vous allez sortir. C'est juste pour ça. Mais ouais. Ok. Ouais. Je sais pas, 15 minutes avant midi, comme ça. Rentrer dans une demi-heure à peu près. Ça, tu les feras pas sauter, mais ok. Il y a des élèves qui me demandent s'ils peuvent avoir un document avec les ouais. Ouais. Ça faisait partie des trucs qu'on leur a donné. J'ai tellement essayé pas mais oui, effectivement, sur Teams, on leur met la liste Excel de toute la classe avec les sous-divisions. Comme ça. Ouais, les mails IFM. Ouais, tu peux laisser les mails IFM et avec les sous-divisions. Mais en gros, c'est notre tableau cohort. Juste pour enlever les trucs perso. Et les groupes qui servent à rien, mais tu laisses AD, les groupes en 4, les groupes en 16, comme ça ils savent comment ils sont associés. Comme ça ils peuvent s'organiser pour leur truc. Ouais. Pour,
Tu peux par la suite de la petite annonce là sur Academic Regulation, machin.
Ouais.
Cool.
Okay.
Et t'as posté les docs sur le canal Facebook?
Non, pas encore. Je le ferai après. Ou je peux le faire là tout de suite de toute façon. J'ai mon ordi. Comme ça, ils peuvent aller dessus.
Éventuellement comme ça, je dirais sur le... Enfin là tout de suite ou quand j'aurai commencé à parler.
Ok.
Peut-être tu peux leur redire pour Man, enfin le lien, s'ils veulent faire le projet, ça peut être bien.
C'est pour ça que
Ouais. Ouais. Un peu clarifier quand même. Ouais. Et que tu peux leur dire que s'ils hésitent dans des questions sur le challenge, ils peuvent aussi me demander, enfin toi aussi, mais je veux dire s'ils veulent passer, s'ils veulent passer au bureau
Okay, hello again. Please sit down. Ouais, allez, stop. Hello again, please, guys. Okay, all right. So I start with quick information about EduSign. So I think most of you signed it up before the break, but if you didn't, you can just send a message to Jorge to tell him that you're present to this session. Sorry about that. And also another information about the document that you have to sign.
Hello. How are you guys? Good? Did you drink some coffee? Yeah? You're not tired of all the conferences? Me too. Yeah, so if you had a problem signing in for this class, just send me a Teams, okay? Or an email. What's best for you, and I'll just send you another email for you to sign online, okay? And for those who haven't signed the image rights and the academic regulations, don't forget to do it, okay, by the end of the week, because your classes are starting tomorrow, so we need those documents signed, okay? Who hasn't signed? Yeah, you have to do it today, please. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Okay, so let's talk about the thesis. Ouais, donc du coup, je veux bien que tu... Okay. So we decided on purpose to schedule this information and this launch about the thesis today because I would like you to be on board since the first day of the year because it will be one of your very big projects of the year. So it's important that you enter into a research-focused mind from today. And actually, we had this very nice introduction with Caroline, who gives you a lot of example of all the possibility you can have about research, especially in diversity in beauty. But of course, for the thesis, you have much more topic related to fashion. So Valerie is about to publish some more information and especially the thesis guideline, which is like the booklet of the thesis with all the information, which I will present right now. So if you have any doubt during the year, the first thing you have to do is to check this book because all the information are there. So what's about the thesis at IFM? First of all, sorry guys, but it's mandatory to get your diploma. So you really need to, so it's the first reason why you have to do it. It's mandatory to have like a master degree recognized by the French government. So it's super important. And it might be different from other exercises that you may have done before. I don't know, but some of you, maybe you did a professional thesis, which is usually focused or based from maybe your internship or your apprenticeship, and you try to answer a question from your company. So it's very like business oriented. So it's different from that. It's also different from a simple synthesis of existing knowledge, like what I would call the French dissertation that French people have done a lot of time, but also sometimes bachelor thesis could be like that. It's like you are not producing a new knowledge, you are just like reorganizing, synthesizing ideas, and try to provide an answer to a question through existing knowledge. So we are definitely going further than that. And we ask you to conduct a proper research like a researcher. So I know that for most of you, it will be a first research experience, but the good news is that it's very well guided at IFM. You will have a lot of classes in methodology in order to support you with this process, okay? So it's really like a research paper, actually. The size, the approximate size that you will produce, it's the size of a research paper. And yeah, the idea is that you really have to produce a new knowledge, modest, but something which has never been said or studied in the past. The most important things you have to remind from this session is the fact that you will have to work with academic literature. So this is the main difference from like previous exercise that you may have done, is that you can't only like build on like a business literature or like generalistic books. It's really about mostly research papers, research books about research. You start from research and you conduct a research. And this is super important to understand. Of course, you will have a session about how to read this academic literature. But the thing is that you should not reinvent the wheel. So you should read first what previous researchers said. And actually, we are quite a lot of researchers. So when you think it has never been studied before, probably you're wrong, or you need to check at least. So that's very important. So conduct a literature review, and from that you can define, depending on the method that you will select, either hypothesis if you're going for a quantitative approach, or what we would call proposition with a qualitative approach. But at least a very good question. For example, in history, the important thing is to ask the good question, and then to build from historical archives, a corpus, things like that. So the challenge for me, for us, is to find the right balance, because you will go for different fields. Some of you will go for history approach, other philosophy, sociology, marketing, management. So I tried to build something which is both quite a frame, like you have like a path to follow, but also it fits for everyone. So this is the challenge. Try to make my best. Yeah, so you will apply a methodological approach, and most importantly, you will collect data. This is super important. Reminds what Caroline's just said, like connect with your interviewees, make online observation. For the research thesis, you can also go for quantitative research, so surveys. This is actually the fun part. This is when, I mean, it depends what you prefer, but it's the moment where you really have the connection with people, and when you become the expert because you create your own knowledge from the data you collect. So this is really what we expect from you. And then to present, of course, your results or your findings. Yeah, it's also like a project. It will develop your project management competencies, because you are on your own. You will have a supervisor. I will explain after, but it's all the initiative of contacting your supervisor. It should come from you. You will have a timeline, but it's also up to you to manage it. So it will be like a big project that you have to manage independently. And at the end, you will have to defend your thesis in front of a jury, which is made with your supervisor and another researcher. Okay, so I think it's a super interesting exercise, actually. To me, maybe I'm a bit biased, but to me, it's the most advanced intellectual knowledge that you will develop during your studies. And I think it's something that you can transfer in a lot of situations. Not only I know that most of you will not become a professional researcher, but actually being able to ask the good question is super useful in life. Like if you want to attract the attention of your manager, probably if you are able to point the right question in a tough situation, you're on the right track. So I think it really helps to do that first. And when you're good at that, actually, you are much more advanced in your competencies. Reading the academic literature is also something very interesting in a world of alternative truth, in a world where AI creates information. So you will have these competencies of dealing with this academic literature where I would not say it's absolute truth, but where there is a scientific and academic debate. So you can enter this world, and I think it's quite interesting. I'm sorry. Become an expert in a field. Actually, this is also interesting. Sometimes I know you will not find your internship or your dream job thanks to your thesis, but sometimes it helps. It helps to connect with people because you want to get an interview with this person, for example, that is a contact, for example, to find an internship. Sometimes during the interview, you have something to say about your thesis because you have pretty good results about their field. So I highly recommend that you are strategic in the definition of your topic of research and that you try to think about your future career. And it's an opportunity to be an expert, actually. It's an opportunity to have knowledge that you could sell to a future employer. So it can be a strategy to define your research topic. Another one could be just to go for a super fun topic, something that you want to explore because you like it, it's a passion, and you know that you will have to dedicate a lot of time to that. So just pick up something that you like and make it like a disinterested intellectual effort to that. It's also a good idea, I think. And it might be one of the last moments in your life where you can go as far in the intellectual effort. You will be surprised how soon people come back to us, very young diplomees. They come to us and they're like, okay, I get bored to my job. Like, I'm good now, and it's not stimulating intellectually. I would like to do a PhD. So enjoy it. It's a good moment to do this deep intellectual work. So you work individually. So we will do an intense work with Rolre to match you with the right supervisor. Along the year, I build a big team of people who are real experts. So they are all researchers, and they may not be like directly focused on fashion, but they all focus on field related to fashion in which you could develop a research topic. So you will have a lot of choice, and I will explain that after. Okay, so you will have basically 3 seminars, three basic seminars. No, sorry, I mixed it up. Okay, so you have different, 3. You have different support. One is basic skills. So basic skills, you will have 2 sessions with me coming very soon. One is on the definition of your research question. One is on the literature review. You have one with Georgia Mota, on structuring your thesis. So this is first semester. Second semester is focused on qualitative method, so again with me. you will have access to online platform with a lot of info, both on qualitative but mostly on quantitative research, which has been developed by Caroline, actually. So there you have like all the tutorial to conduct quantitative research. And I think it will be by March that you will have 6-hour course with Giovanna Casimiro on how to write your thesis with AI. So of course, yes. No. You can select one or make both. It's really open. The only thing is that you have to collect data. So you have to at least select one method, but it can be mixed also. So about AI, I know that you will use AI at different stages of your approach. So the idea is not to forbid that, but you have to follow the AI statement of IFM, of course. But also we saw that maybe Giovanna can guide you a little bit on, for example, how to build your bibliography with AI, how to make it sound much more academic. A lot of tips that she has and can be useful to make it very cleverly and to stick with our AI statement and also to help you to gain time, basically. So it goes much more at the end because I think it's for when you will be writing that it will be the most useful. Okay, so about your supervisor, so this person will be an expert in your field, and this person is here to support your intellectual reflection, give you readings recommendation, helps you to formulate your research question, helps you with the method, and give you feedbacks at different stages. What is super important and what supervisors always complain about is when you are not taking notes during the meetings that you have with them, but much more it's when you are not working in between the session that you have with them, but you ask for a new meeting to give the impression that you are working. It's like a reassuring process. And sometimes it's not even intentionally from you. It's just because you want to reassure yourself that I'm working. I had a meeting with my supervisor. So please don't do that. All researchers are completely aware when you do that. Okay, so just ask. Everyone is very busy, so just ask for a meeting when you properly advance from the previous meeting. Otherwise, everyone is losing its time. So they are not your manager. So I know you come back from your internship, but it's really not a manager mood. A researcher is not a manager, not at all. It's completely different mindset. So it has to be up to you to initiate the relationship. They will not be on you like, please send me this or this. If you want to have like regular update, you have to come to them. Of course, they will not write your thesis for you, but you can imagine that. So you have 2 mandatory meetings with the supervisor, and you may ask for additional one if you need much more support. After each meeting, you have to complete a follow-up form and to submit it. So it's like a synthesis of what you said during the meeting and what are the next steps. So it's for us to check that you are properly working on a regular basis, but it's also for you to remember what you said. I know that some period of the year will be super busy, and sometimes you will have to stop working on your thesis for several weeks. So just try to have like a daily, not a daily, but a journal or take notes. So these follow-up forms are super important so that when you go back to your thesis you know where you are. Okay, so here is the timeline. So today is the launch, and you will have to complete forms in 2 weeks to indicate your research topic. I will explain how it works just a bit later, but I give you an overview. So in these forms, it's super guided, but you will have to explain a bit your motivation, the starting point of your research. Of course, it's non-final. I do understand that the 20th of October, you don't have like a very well-defined research topic, but it's about matching you with the right person. So I need to understand if you're much more into historical research or management research or whatever. So I need to identify a bit your main interests at least. So by the end of October, hopefully you will receive supervisor notification, and from that moment you can contact this person. So by November, December, try to organize a first meeting with your supervisor. As I said, I try to standardize the process, but also it's 3 person behind, so sometimes they are a bit busy. Yeah, so you have to manage it. I hope you can have a first meeting before the research proposal when you have to, thesis proposal, 12th of December. You have to submit your thesis proposal, which is like a much more advanced pitch of your research project. Similarly, it will be very guided with a specific outline or subsections that you have to complete. So hopefully you can meet your supervisor before this date of the 12th of December. But if it's not the case, it's not a big issue. Your thesis proposal will be the support for feedback with your supervisor during the first meeting. So in any case, you need to draft something to discuss with your supervisor. So it can be also the opportunity. Okay, don't worry about that. So it continues with the seminars, like method seminars, and then you have to submit a thesis conceptual framework, which is focused on your literature review and method proposition by the 9th of March. And then you receive feedback from your supervisor about this conceptual framework, and then you still have March, April, and May to end your thesis, so to collect your data, to analyze it, and to write everything down. The final submission is for the 8th of June. Basically, there is no retake. I mean, there is a retake if you fail, but there is nothing like, okay, I will submit at the retake session. I know it exists in other schools or stuff like that, but here, no. If you have any difficulties or you need to ask for an extension, we have a specific procedure which is called extenuating circumstances, and you really need to stick to the specific situation described in these extenuating circumstances guidelines to ask for an extension. Okay, so of course it can happen, but it's like extreme case, like you are super sick, you have to go for the military services in some countries, like big stuff, okay? But the retake is for people who fail at the first session, and hopefully no one. For example, last year, no one failed, okay? So we are doing, and the level of expectancies is super high. So it's a well-guided process. If we feel that what you submitted in June is not at the right level, we ask you not to defend and to go directly to the retake. It's up to your supervisor to ring the alarm if they think that what you submitted is not reaching the expectancies. So through this process, we had no retake. This year, we only had second session for the extreme cases that I mentioned before. Okay, so the only date that you have to remind is 8th of June. Okay, no retake. And thesis defend at the end of June, and then you can go for your internship. And as Kevin mentioned this morning, if you find something a bit earlier, from beginning of or mid-April for the internship, it's also okay, just much more challenging because you have to manage the thesis and the internship. So that's why we organize the year like that. But don't consider that the moment that you have between mid-April and the beginning of June is enough to manage the whole thesis. It's not the case. But you have all the intermediary deliverables, so it will not be the case. Do you have questions until now? All right. So I'm going to, okay, so this is a synthesis of the timeline. So October, November, it's a process of research development. In 2 weeks, you select your topic. From December to February, so 12th of December, you have to submit your research or thesis proposal. Until February, you're working on your literature review, and you start to imagine how you could collect your data, so you develop your method. Let's say in March you collect your data, and then you still have April to analyze and May to finalize, write everything down. This, I know it's not like, it does not fit for everyone. It's just to give you an overview, but depending on your method, it can be a bit different, okay? But just for you to see that it's doable, obviously, and it's guided too. Okay. So about the research topic, so basically we identify 4 main fields in which you could be interested to focus your thesis. I know it's a master in management, but I also know that you are fashion geeks. You really like humanities at large, culture at large. So I also wanted to offer you the opportunity to focus your thesis in larger topic than only the business one or the management one. So that's why we have a lot of supervisor in humanities, history, yeah, especially history. We have a lot of historians actually, but also philosophy too. Another field is economic strategy and management. Another one is obviously marketing and consumer science, which is actually the main focus of this master, and sustainability. So from this field, we recruited a lot of people to supervise you. And so how it works? The idea is that we contacted all these people and we asked them to list topics that they are able to supervise people on. So it's a bit guided. It's a lot. It's like more than 100, like 130 topics. It's really a lot, and I think it's helpful because you're not professional researcher, you may not really know what could be a research topic, where you could go. Yes. No. Yes, it's completely okay. So this is like to guide you. You have this large offer, but if you have the feeling that you want to work on something else, it's also possible. It's a bit additional work for you because you have to define the thing. And if we think it's not very academic, we can also ask you to rework, but it's open. And I have the feeling that with all the supervisor we add, it will work. I can find some, I think I can find a good person for almost every topic related to fashion or luxury, okay? So it's open, but the thing is first, it helps us to assign you to the right person. And second, I think it helps you also to identify, to find ideas. So sometimes two people are working on the same topic, so maybe you will be hesitating because the list is big and you're not sure, is it this one or this one? Just pick up one and then you explain. You motivate your choice. You explain the idea is that you start from an observation, like a real life, for example, business observation or societal observation, whatever. And from that, you have a question. So try to develop that and try to connect it with one of the topics listed by our supervisor. So Jorge did post yet or not? Did you? Yes. Okay. So now I think you receive a notification from Jorge and you have the list. So when you will click on the form that you have to complete for the 20th of October, we try to make it as good as possible, but it's like a long list. So that's why also Jorge prepared a PDF document where everything is listed by field, so you can read it quietly, take your time, and have everything. And when you're done, then you just have to find it on the form, okay? But if you have any doubts, just do your best, and you can also mention it in your motivation. Okay, I pick up this, but I was not sure. You can even say I hesitated with this. It's okay. We will review that carefully, so don't worry. Just we need to start by a point, you know, to assign you, but it's very custom made, so don't worry. It's of course non-final, and if you have a method preference, please tell us, because it's also related to the choice of supervisor, especially if you want to go for quantitative research. You know that you're good at statistics, for example, and you want to do that, please tell us, because not all the supervisors are able to supervise quantitative research. If it's qual, it's much more, we have much more people for qualitative research. Yes, yeah. Yeah. So you will have, I think, yeah, it's here. Actually, so you will, when you complete the form, so you will see the 4 different fields, and at the last proposition will be other. And here you click there, and here you develop your topic. Okay. So because I was like, maybe you don't know which field it would be related to, so then you can just develop your stuff. Is there other questions? No? Okay. Yeah, okay. So you can develop your topic. And also, if you want to develop something, you can also contact me if you want to discuss it a little bit in advance to try to formulate it right. It's okay to contact me. Like your risk. Yes. I mean, can you? I'm not sure about your question. Your question is, can I design my own? Yeah, definitely. I mean, I think we will present like the most important or frequent research design. So it has to be scientific, but you can also be creative. So no, it's okay. Okay, so I just give you examples in each field so that you can see a bit like the variety. So basically, we have a lot of people working on AI, but from different perspectives. AI and creativity, for example, is well represented. So this is for the humanity part, working about like the catwalk and the show, so fashion and the stage. The issue of heritage and museum is also well covered. Fashion and cinema, we do have people on that. Working on the slut, for example. Last year we do have like the mini skirts. Fashion and politics, no, politic of repairs. So it's much more about repairing your garments. Meaning of miniskirts, okay, it's still here. Okay, so for economic and management, much more like maybe macro perspective and business perspective. Luxury and craftsmanship. So here is a history perspective, business models. So it can be interesting if you have much more like maybe an entrepreneurial mindset, like working on the new business model in fashion, for example. A bit of history again, but from a management perspective. Innovation, like open innovation, collaboration, and how it helps to develop creativity. Yeah, business creativity, business model in the creative industry. In marketing, consumer science, so a lot of things about influencers. So you guess it's from me, but not only me and Giovanna actually. So influencer backstage, queer and lesbian fashion, immersive commerce, virtual experience, biohackings of fashion, smart garments, so all this new technology, brand activism, luxury branding, retail, fashion on TikTok, TikTok fashion trends, for example, the impact of identity, and it can be like a cultural identity and the test, your perception of what is beautiful or not, cultural hybridation, perception of fashion exhibition, the success also of fashion exhibition, which can be treated both from a much more historical perspective, but also from a marketing perspective, AI model, AI influencer, AI celebrities, social gaming and so on. And in sustainability, we do also have a lot of topic and quite a lot of supervisors too. So if you want to dedicate to this topic, what do we have? Biodesign, ethics of care in sustainable fashion consumption, radical fashion design, zero ownership, zero waste, biodegradable closets. Yes, positive emotion and sustainable fashion consumption, AI and sustainable fashion. It's just a sample of what we have, but maybe it already gives you inspiration. And also if you want to start from, like, if one topic give you an inspiration to go to something else, I do prefer that you pick up the thing and then you develop your topic, because it helps me to assign you to someone. So even if it's different, then you can say, okay, I don't want to work on that, but actually it makes me think to this and this. It can be for us a good starting point to find someone. So don't be afraid with this form. It will not be something very restrictive. It's a starting point to assign you to someone. Okay. Do you have questions about that? Okay. You do have this in the academic regulation. These are the criteria of evaluation. Just to tell you that your mark is a global mark for your written document and the oral defense. And also to tell you that it's quite demanding. Like the thesis is not a joke. We are expecting a lot about that. So it's an important part of this year. Yes. No, just the final one. The intermediary deliverable is for you to work on a regular basis and to get the feedback from your supervisor. But if it's not perfect, and it's also to make you okay to fail. Like it's okay that at a point you're not on the right track. I know it's new and it happens actually that the first thing is completely going is a wrong direction and it's okay, but at least you try, and from this wrong direction we can help you to go in the good direction. So yeah. Other question? Okay, so obviously you understand that I'm coordinating the process, and you can definitely reach out to me at any moment of the process, even if I won't be the supervisor of 100 students, obviously. But if there is an issue, a conflict, I hope not, but anything, you can reach out to me, and also to Rolre, but maybe much more on like the administrative coordination. What else? So, okay, this is the QR code that of the forms that you have to complete for Monday in 2 weeks by noon. So I noticed that you have classes after, and I noticed that I'm free after to start assigning you to a supervisor. So that's why this is the right time. Also, what I would like to introduce, you should have received a message from me during lunch break about a dress code seminar. So this is next Wednesday at 6:30 in the auditorium. So we have the great pleasure to have a visiting researcher from California. She's called Marilyn Johnson, and she's working on the meaning of fashion. So for the students who were there last year, she's a bit in the same stream of research than Benjamin Simoneau were. So about understanding like the semantic of fashion. And she will be presenting a nice talk on like the theory behind that. So she will be talking about animals and the adornment of animals, and how is it like a natural meaning, a cultural meaning. Basically, it's super interesting. It's important, I think, for you that you be open to research presentation during this year. So of course it's not mandatory, but it's we try to build a super cool research program. We invite people from all around the world to present. And if you especially like Marilyn talks on Wednesday, there is also a 2-day seminar on the meaning of fashion on the 20th and 21st of November. Probably you have class at this moment, but as Benjamin said, it's your choice. So if you want, you can decide to go to the seminar if you prefer. But yeah, be open to research, and of course, I will be communicating on all the dress code seminar, me or Sarah or Benjamin. We are building together the research program for this year. Do you have other questions? No? So, yeah, I think we are good. So we now do have a goûter, tea time. I don't know how to call that in English. But yeah, we wanted to start the year with a nice social event. So, okay. And try to interact, all MSc1, new ones. Okay, so there. mis plus ce matin, j'avais tout mis ce matin. Tu vas voir, non, c'est un vrai truc. Hein. Regarde. C'est sérieux. Ouais. Ouais, elle doit être climatisée pour refroidir ce truc.